Today we are looking at AT&T and Verizon to see which one is best for you. Now, I redo these videos every year because the plans change so often, and I gotta say, this is not the same AT&T I've been bagging on for the last few years. In fact, they're slightly better, and Verizon is slightly worse, just to give you a hint. So keep on watching to see which carrier is the best to choose for you for your next cell phone plan. I'm Sherry, your telecom expert with Whistle Out. So I will be comparing AT&T and Verizon in a handful of categories, including coverage, solo pricing, family pricing, perks, international travel, and more. So every category, I'm gonna give a thumbs up, and the carrier at the end with the most thumbs up or gold stars or whatever we decide to put as our marker wins. First up, we are going to be comparing coverage. Now, automatically off the bat, this one is a tie because Verizon has a better 4G coverage where AT&T has a much better 5G signal and coverage. So we are going to just give each of these guys a thumbs up. The next category we are comparing is solo pricing. The cost for one line on AT&T and Verizon. Now I'm calling this one a tie, although technically AT&T is cheaper, but just slightly, just barely. $4 cheaper. I don't think we can count that. So Verizon's plans come in at $65, $80, and $90, where AT&T comes in at $66, $76, and $86. So we're right there, very similar price points. Now later in the video, I'm going to break down the plans further to see which one has the most value, but if we're just looking high level cost, it's about the same. Now let's take a look at family pricing, which is a tie. The cost per line does go down substantially when we look at 4-line plans for both Verizon and AT&T, but the distance between is very similar. So it was a $4 difference before with solo lines. With Verizon for 4 lines, it comes in at $30, $45, and $55. AT&T comes in at $36, $41, and $51. So we're seeing a very similar price gap there that isn't substantial enough for me to call out a winner, even though technically, again, AT&T is slightly cheaper, it's still a tie. Now, the next category, in my opinion, is probably the most important category to keep in mind, and this is going to be data allotments. We're gonna break down how much data you get from each of the options for the unlimited postpaid plans on Verizon and AT&T. And just to get ahead of it all, AT&T is the winner here for a few reasons. Let's dive in. So for Verizon's cheapest plan, you do not get a set amount of data and you do not get a set hotspot. Your data just slows during congestion. I don't love that you don't get a set amount of data to use. For the more expensive plans, you get fully unlimited premium data and either 30 gigabytes of a hotspot or 60 gigabytes of a hotspot, which isn't too bad. But when we look at AT&T, the options just are a little bit better. For their base plan on AT&T, you get a 5 gigabyte hotspot and then you get unlimited data that slows during congestion. So the hotspot beats out Verizon's in that category. Now, when we move up to the next plans on AT&T, you get 75 gigabytes of data with a 30 gigabyte hotspot, and then you get fully unlimited premium data with a 60 gigabyte hotspot. Now I'm giving AT&T the win here for that little 5 gigabyte hotspot on their cheapest plan, and then you get more data for a cheaper cost across the board with AT&T. Verizon is a little bit more expensive. I think you get better value with AT&T, and that's why I am giving them the gold star thumbs up. The next category is a fun one. This is perks, and Verizon wins here automatically because AT&T doesn't have perks. Verizon does, although you do have to pay for them as add-ons. At least they are still an option, so because of that, again, Verizon easily wins this category. The last category we're looking at is how many perks do you get for roaming or international use of your plan, and for this one, the win is going to Verizon for a few reasons. First, all of Verizon's plans offer a 2 gigabyte per day data allotment when traveling in Canada and Mexico, plus unlimited talking and texting. AT&T does not offer that. They don't come close to offering that, although AT&T does have access in your full unlimited use of your plan in 20 Latin American countries when you sign up for their most premium plan. So that is a pretty great perk for AT&T, but in general, I think that the 2 gigabyte a day and travel allotment for all of Verizon's plans beats that out. So technically, if you've been keeping track, Verizon has won this comparison over AT&T, but AT&T was really close, closer than they have been in the past, which I am happy to see. You should go with Verizon as a recap if you enjoy cheaper perk add-ons, if you're looking for ease of international use and roaming of your device, and if you're looking for a decent amount of data. And you should go with AT&T if you're looking to just pay a little bit less and maybe want full access to your device and plan in 20 Latin American countries. I'm Sherry, your telecom expert for Whistle Out. Thanks for watching.